all over.
Recording is on.
I'll take it all over so that I record the thing. So when I share, someone who is not here can follow. So what I was explaining is the PDF I have shared. It's for you to follow and reproduce the Gantt on it on your own Gantt. Okay. So normally when you open it, it is going to look small like this. It's going to be very small. I have to fit it all in one. That's why you see it's small like this. But in order for you to see it clearly, you can zoom your PDF reader like this. I'm zooming mine here is Adobe. Whatever it is you are using, you can use Control Plus to do it, to zoom. Use Control Plus until you can see clearly. Now, when it's visible like this, the one labeled Gantt Project PDF contains the Gantt chart where you can put your task, the tasks and your resource. Sorry, the tasks in particular. This is for tasks. So you will add, you will follow this one according to how I've done it here on your own. You reproduce it on your own, right up to the last phase, phase 8, maintenance and support. So I was explaining that when you add the tax, according to my timeline, when you see an arrow dropping down like this, it indicates that this task has this one up above it with this arrow pointing to it like this as its predecessor, which means when you have added something like, take for example, recruitment and collection of materials, that's an example. If you see an arrow pointing to it, look where the arrow is coming from. Then when you double click on this tax, recruitment and collection of materials, go under the predecessor tab and select this one as its predecessor. Please mute. I don't know why you're unmuting. Mute your mic. Next. So like I was saying, if you look here, another example, look here, the same thing applies. Development phase 4 depends on design according to this arrow here. If you look at the arrow leaving design and coming to development, it means on your Gantt, you will double click on development after adding it. Then you go to predecessor tab and select design as its predecessor. You do the same for testing and validation. You double click on it and then you also select design as its predecessor according to this arrow. Repeat that process for all predecessors according to their Gantt chart. You look at it, if you scroll, you see many of them right up to the end. You look at the line and you follow it and see which task is there, requirements analysis. You do the same right up to the end. Then, if you look somewhere here, you will see a milestone on day 26. You see a milestone. Now, that milestone, if you scroll, you see that it's under feasibility studies. So you make feasibility studies a milestone. You double click on it and tick milestone against it. Good. So that is it for the tasks. Now the resource chart. This one you do the same, you zoom so that you can see clearly. You add the names of the people and their role. Then you assign them to their various tasks. I'll show you shortly how to do that. I was saying, for example, Michael Walkers is working on design. Meaning under the Gantt interface, when I double click on the tasks, that same page, that pop-up window that opens, where you select the predecessors, on that same window, if you look, after predecessor tab, on the right is the tab for resources. There you can select the people you have added. If you have not added somebody, the person will not show there. Meaning you add the people first before you can select them from the drop down to assign them to the various tasks. So if you see here somebody's name under it, you see design, it means you should assign that person to the design phase of the project. So for example, Michael Walker, Doe Wilson, Morgan Chelsea, Charles Ship, Maury Philip, and so on, who have design under their names. When you come to task at the face of design, you double click. It's going to open that pop-up window. You go to resources, then you add them one by one, then you assign them to design so that it can appear under their name like this. You repeat the process for the other people: To Wa, Milky James, Michael Walker, UI UX. So come here for UI UX. I will double click on it, this one, and then I assign them to UI UX. So let me show you on my Gantt how that is done. So this is it here. As you can see on my screen, these are predecessors on the right, the Gantt itself, the drawing. On the left are the resources. So I was saying, for example, if you look at development, it depends on design according to that PDF. So if I double click my development, I come to predecessors. You see, design have been assigned. You will need to do the same to assign it so that it appears like mine. Strictly follow what I sent. Then under resources is where you assign the people. If somebody is not here on the drop down, you add the person first before you can assign the person. So you follow the resource chart to do that so that I know who is working under what. That is what you are supposed to do. That's the exercise for today. Use it to reproduce yours. I'm emphasizing like this, but I gave you as assignment. I'm not sure of what you have done. If what you have done is not looking like mine, I will advise you to go and reproduce mine to look exactly like how I have done it, because I'm going to grade it. That's why I'm taking the pain to explain. I've shared in the WhatsApp group, and I'm also going to share this video so that in case you don't know or you were not on the call, you can follow it.